to the Grey Pill Podcast, where truth's unveiled, exploring the depths beyond what is retail. Conspiracies, esoteric knowledge so enthralling. Open up your mind, let's dive into the sprawling. Oh yeah. Grey Pill awaken, question what you know. Peeling back the layers, let your curiosity grow. Uncover hidden realities, break the mold. Come take the journey, let your mind unfold.
Gather around, all you mystery seekers. We're diving deep into the dark, exploring realms beyond what's known, where the secrets of the shadows leave their mark. Come take a ride on the Grey Pill Express, where esoteric knowledge is our guest. From conspiracies to cryptids, we unveil the veil. Mysticism and the occult, our forbidden tale. Join us on this journey to uncover the unknown.
Welcome to the Grey Pilled Podcast.
Welcome to Paranoid Pages, your portal to the thought-provoking world of underground comics, out of print magazines and other rare media. We'll discover hidden gems up close and in detail to capture the magic of pictures and words combined. So, gather around, friends. This is Paranoid Pages.
Welcome to the Grey Pill Podcast.
Welcome to the Grey Pilled Podcast.
It's the Grey Pilled Podcast. We don't give a fuck about the New World Order.
We don't. What's going on? It's your boy Jules, Family Jules. This is the second episode, what I'm calling the second episode of the Grey Pill Podcast, which is me in my garage of my country suburban home with my lovely wife, 2 kids, and my dog, my Maltipoo. He's a member of the Knights of Maltese. Very, very expensive dog. But anyway, welcome to the Grey Pill Podcast.
Welcome to the Grey Pilled Podcast.
I'm going to be hitting that a lot. Yeah, I'm Jules. I haven't really introduced myself to my audience, even though I probably don't have one. A little bit about me. I live in Mississippi. I'm 31 years old. I'm a drummer. I'm a writer, a musician. I've been researching conspiracies, the occult, the esoteric, everything having to do with the paranormal, the supernatural, the unknown, cryptids, rabbit hole, every rabbit hole you could think of for the past 7 to 8 years. So I decided to take everything I know and make a platform, make some friends that are in the same community, and I couldn't have made better friends. I've met some fantastic people who have helped me out tremendously, and I am eternally grateful. I will always be. And made this podcast happen. I was going to start it, I'd say a year ago. My father-in-law was murdered. That's something I'll probably get into down the road. Still a little sensitive subject, and the investigation is still ongoing. The piece of shit that killed him is still awaiting his sentence. So we hope that comes soon. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about what I'm going to be getting into here in the next month or two, and a few people that I'll be working with, and hopefully if anyone sees this podcast, feel free to hit me up. And if you want to come on, if you have gnosis of something that uh, you know we could delve into, something that people find interesting, or just hit me up. You can DM me on Instagram, graypilled_podcast, or I'm on X too. I'm on X. I'm on Twitter at graypilledpod. I'm also on Spotify. I'm on Rumble, and I'm going to be on Rockfin and Patreon as well. I haven't had Facebook for almost a decade, and I don't plan on getting back on it for anything, so you won't find me there. However, I am trying to put out at least an episode a week, if not, sitting in my garage by myself with all my books and my research and my notes. I'll be on other people's podcasts, or doing Swapcast or a roundtable, or hopefully something else. So if anybody wants to work with me, feel free to hit me up. I'm down to work mostly on weekends. I could probably swing a weeknight, maybe. But yeah, I'm going to be getting into some books that I started reading right around the time I started the podcast. Some Manly Palmer Hall books. He's probably one of my favorite authors ever. I value his work a lot. Occult Symbolism of Animals, Insects, Reptiles, and Fish. You see the phoenix on the front. It goes deep. And this one I've read probably half of it. I could say I read the whole thing, but I haven't really read it. You with his stuff, you really have to go back and read it a few times to even get what he's talking about, which is a lot. He talks about every single mystery school that there is, from the Eleusinian mystery schools to the Egyptian, to the Orphean mystery school, to everything. Love his work. So I'm going to be getting into this book. I'm probably going to be covering the fish, the insects, and the phoenix first, those 3 chapters. Then I'm going to do the reptiles, the birds, and the animals, or mammals, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that book. I'm also going to be getting into this one at the same time, Unseen Forces. He uses a lot of work from Paracelsus, especially having to do with the elementals and the dweller on the threshold, and a lot of really unseen things, occulted things, hidden. I'm going to be getting into at first the gnomes, the undines, or the mer people, the sylphs, and the salamanders. Also, I have been reading very slowly the Initiates of the Flame, which I find wonderful. He who lives the life shall know the doctrine. And it's a hardback. No one gets hardbacks anymore. No one gets hard anymore. But anyway, yeah. Just a little update of what I'll be doing. That's not all I'm going to be doing. Me and my boy Oddfellows are going to be getting into the Process Church of the Final Judgment, the connection with Jimmy Savile, David Berkowitz, the son of Samael. Samuel. Y'all will come to find out that I'm a little too obsessed with pantheons, and especially dating back to Sumeria. That's one of my expertise also. I guess it's kind of a good thing, is knowing about these fallen gods or fallen angels, messengers of our creator, because they refer to a creator of all. And I'm probably way too close to the mic. I keep thinking that I'm either too far away or too close, but maybe I'm just right. Maybe. Um, but yeah, I'm real into. I know a lot about a certain. It's basically a giant incestuous family, you know, that incarnated through the generations in these avatar bodies that were probably made accessible to them in the halls of Amente or similar underground facilities. But yeah, me and Oddfellows are going to be getting into the Process Church. Also, well, their connection with Charles Manson as well, and pretty sure there's a connection in there with Damien Eccles and the West Memphis Three, and a bunch of ritual killings that took place in the '60s, '70s, and '80s. I think had a lot of influence from the Process Church of the Final Judgment. So that probably means our boy Johnny Depp is somehow involved, which is always fun. Great actor, but you know, uh, uh, strange bird, strange bird, strange guy. Anyway, yeah, no, I just wanted to come on here and say what's up. I could get into some things. I mean, uh, shouts out my boy Thomas, the paranoid motherfucking American. Shouts out Nate from Reality Czars. Shouts out my boy Cody from Oddfellows. Shouts out my homeboy Tom Thompson, Tomcat, and all the guys over at Strange Brew and Horror Class. And shouts out Juan from the One on One podcast. Shouts out my boy Esoteric Eddie. We're probably gonna have some stuff coming. He's in pretty high demand right now. So is Juan. So is Thomas. They're all booming right now, dude. And there's a lot of people that I like to shout out, but I'm gonna quit sucking everybody's dick and talk about some other stuff. But oh yeah, I did want to show another ad real quick.
chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com. It's easy to remember if you just sing along. chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com. The chosen one. Yes, he is the chosen one. He's got his own comic, and now he's got his own song. 'Cause he's the chosen one. Yes, he is the chosen one. Go buy a copy at chosen1.com. chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com. It's easy to remember if you just sing along. chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com.
Yeah, go and donate to that Kickstarter, man. I plan on doing it myself. I had actually bought T-shirts from one of a lot of people this week. Had a little extra money to spend, and I need some shirts for the spring. So I'll be rocking them throughout the podcast, giving shouts out. I'm a big I like to support people who have you know helped me learn things and who have influenced me to start this podcast. Uh, I I know that I just got to get on here and start talking. So fuck it. If nobody likes it, they don't have to watch it. That's how I see it. I'm not on here trying to dick ride or trying to bottom feed or make money. I mean, if eventually I can make money, if people want to be as generous as to buy merch from me eventually, if I make it, I'm sure I'll end up making some soon. That'd be awesome. But you know, people that have helped me learn, like I didn't know anything about, you know, alchemy or Paracelsus or the homunculus, uh, which is so fun to say and so fun to talk about, especially to people who don't know anything about it. It either really intrigues them or they're automatically like, all right, dude, quit fucking talking to me. Um, but you know, I guess I heard him talking about it on Tinfoil Hat, and shouts out those guys, Sam and Johnny and XG. I've been listening to them for probably over 4 years now. And if it went for like them and Gordo from those conspiracy guys, shouts out him. If it went for those guys, I don't think a lot of people would have been where they are right now. Especially being able, to have, that comedy aspect of it and your life as well. When you're going through a hard time or something, it's real important. But yeah, so I'm always gonna show respect where it's due, and keep it real. Always keep it 100. But yeah, no, go and support my boy Juan. Help him and Thomas get this new Chosen One printed because it's fucking awesome. I mean, dude, if you haven't gone to paranoidamerican.com and bought, and I know I'm riding the Freemasons dick, oh, woe is me. Shut the fuck up. People on Instagram and Twitter like to talk shit and like to hate. I'm going to go ahead and state right now the idea of Freemasonry was hijacked a long time ago and used for other things. These smaller lodges, it's really a fraternal thing. Um, at the very top, there's so many different orders that make up, I mean, you got the York Rite of the Freemasonry, the 13 degrees, and you got the Scottish Rite, the 33. It goes above, but then you got Shriners, you got the Order of the Eastern Star, which I actually figured out was founded like 30 minutes south from here in Richland, in like the middle of fucking the country of Richland, Mississippi. So it's some dark shit if it was founded in Richland, fucking Mississippi. I'm just kidding. But it's very mysterious. Then again, Albert Pike, who founded Scottish Rite Freemasonry, was from Huntsville, Alabama, I think. It's probably a smaller town. So, I mean, there is a lot, especially if you go watch Old World Florida with shouts out Dr. Narco Longo. You'll see that the South, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, it's probably part if the mass continent of the world, okay, if the world was once a mass continent, one piece of land, I think Florida fit in right where the Mediterranean would be, northern Africa into the Fertile Crescent area where Mesopotamia was. Call me crazy, but that makes a lot of sense to me because there is a lot, uh, about the South that's very old, I guess you could say. Meaning that it like some parts of it seem like they should be in another country, maybe, or you know. Uh, but then again, I also think that the tribes of Israel were, dispersed through Jamaica, Haiti, uh, you know, certain islands and continents to separate bloodlines and manipulate people and uh, help spread the big lie, you know. So, um, but yeah, no, I was gonna show Chosen One. The first one is fucking awesome. Uh, read it a few times. It's pretty funny. Uh, Thomas gave me a little signature, little signature right there. So yeah, basically what I was saying, if you have a friend who's a Freemason, give him a fucking hug because he's just like any other person. You know, maybe a little wiser. That's it. And I'm not a shill. You know, I'm not a master mason in disguise. I'm you know a guy from Mississippi. You know, I'm that guy. Just got this in the mail. Uh, some of the most gruesome shit that I've ever laid eyes on, but uh, it has a great moral to it. You know, don't help traffic children, and you know, keep away from people that do, even if they offer you tons of money. You know, uh, it's not worth your internal flame, your soul, your essence, your being. Uh, if you lose that, you lose everything. And I think that's something that if it's taken from you, you may not ever be able to get it back. Uh, you may have to go through a certain amount of trials, start all the way back up from the bottom. You know, we're already in the highest level of hell, lowest level of heaven. You know, according to the Gnostics, and I think there's something to that. I think there's truth in every religion. That's why a lot of them mimic each other. But yeah, Frazzle Drip Fun House, and also I'm gonna quit grifting here in a second from my buddy. The Homunculus Owner's Manual is something that is very useful, very helpful. Uh, you can learn a lot from it. You can even see that. Beautifully done. The information is uh, you know pristine. Juan did a fucking stand up job with the research. Him and Thomas always do. Their episodes never disappoint. If you're ever working and have time and just want to, listen to something and learn something, but have a good laugh, go listen to the Occult Book Club episodes. They're phenomenal. Got me through a lot of long days. Also, the MK Ultra Paranoid pamphlet is the shit. Um, Learn a lot, and you could also maybe teach young children or young teens, because I mean, do we really want to keep this? If the world, and especially if you live in the United States, if this shit keeps getting worse, they're gonna find out about it like in a very visceral way, or they can find out about it in like a hey, look, there's a lot of things that happen, you know. Um, this is how we handle it. We talk about it, and if need be, if it's too dark, you crack a joke or two, because anyone who has gone down some of these very dark rabbit holes, they know that, the further you go, if you don't have that relief, comic relief, uh, you know, uh, spiritual kind of relief, you will end up like black pilling yourself, and it you stare into the abyss long enough, it stares back at you. Um, so you know, just be
Welcome
careful
to the
what hole
Gray
you go.
Pilled Podcast. Shit is about to get dangerous. Join us as we dive down these holes.
Diving down them holes. Talking about rabbit holes. I'm a married man. Anyway, welcome to the Gray Pill Podcast.
Welcome to the Gray Pilled Podcast.
Don't be a bitch. Listen to Family Jewels on the Gray Pilled Podcast.
All right. Okay. So rape has become an epidemic in South Africa. So a medical technician named Sonette Ehlers, I just butchered that name, developed a product for women to fight back. Ehlers has never forgotten a rape victim telling her fornally, "If only I had teeth down there." Wow. Ehlers created a product she called Rape Eggs. That's the perfect fucking name for this. It resembles a tube with barbs inside. Jesus. The woman inserts it like a tampon. That's not a the woman inserts it like a tampon, and any man who tries to rape the woman impales himself on the barbs and must go to an emergency room to have the rape X removed. Shit, man. That that doesn't that does that would that fit in a vagina to just stay in there? If you're just like, if you live in a third world country, or hell, if you live in fucking, LA, I mean, New York, where we may need these in the US soon, you know? Um, yeah, I hope everybody got a good look at that. Great. Anyway, yeah, so if you are frightened, go get a rape X. Uh, you know, maybe they have them here. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's only a third world country thing. I want to hear about some fish. Y'all want to hear about some fishing? Yeah. Well, first off, early philosophers and scientists realized life had its origin out of water. So they chose fish to represent the life germ. Also, it resembled sperm. And, it was mainly sacred in, like, the Venus temples, or the temples of Aphrodite, Inanna, Ishtar. Um, and this translated to Freya, who I think comes from Enlil's pantheon. Um, Basically, Freya. Well, Freya was the daughter of Frigg. Frigg was the wife of Odin. Um, so Friday means Frigg's day. Still, Freya, Frigg, that may be the same person. Incestuous family, you know. Basically, initiates of this mystery school wouldn't eat fish on Friday because that is Freya's day, or Frigg's day. Just like, Sunday is the sun's day, Monday is the moon's day, Tuesday's Tyr's day, Wednesday is Woden's day, Thursday's Thor's day, Friday is Frey's day, or Frigg's day. and Saturday is obviously Saturn's day, Cronus's day. You know, fish wasn't eaten on Friday because it was Freya's day, and the symbol of Freya or Venus, Diana, Aphrodite was that of the fish. Hope everybody can still hear me well. Get some water. I need to quit vaping. I used to smoke Camel Blues for like fucking 15 years, so I haven't smoked cigarettes in a while, but vaping isn't any better. I don't use the ones at the gas station. I think that's straight death. I just smoke the nicotine salts. I've had this vape for like 2.5 years. You can tell because it already has fucking like, aging stains on it and stuff where it's been like pressed down in my pants. And I've changed, this out, obviously. I don't use the same mouthpiece, but it's not falling apart or anything. Not yet. It hadn't exploded in my face yet. So I'll let y'all know when it does. Anyway, back to I have my notes right here. I also have the book. The Hebrew letter nun actually means fish as well as growth, and the Jews were led by the son of the fish, who later was known as Joshua, Yeshua, Jesus. Um, he is referred to as the fish because when you're baptized, you're thrown out of darkness and ignorance into the sea of life, basically. You're being reborn. Excuse me. And a lot of initiates or ancients, thought of this as a ritual, as an initiatory practice. However, a lot of Christians interpret it just as a baptism at church. I've said I've done 3 podcasts before this little one, and I've stated that I'm a follower of Christ. I use the word Christian very carefully because a lot of Christians don't know the true meaning, feeling, and teachings of Yeshua the Christ. The is very important in that. I'd be called a heretic, but I think that Christ was instilled in multiple other beings who were incarnations of God's love, being put on this earth to kind of transition our consciousness into a higher being realm. You know, um, but yeah, just to get that out there. I was an atheist for a long time, and I felt the spirit, you know, the Holy Spirit, the holy fire of the Christ, and uh, you know, that spirit comes and goes often. When the more you walk with it and you kind of meditate and you talk, you can refer to it as I refer to it as my Christ. Uh, my Christ energy, the spirit of Christ within me, Christing me as a being, making me a Christed being. I'm not I'm not a fan of a lot of dogma and fear-based um, aspects of religion. You know, thinking about an all-powerful God, it is a scary thing, but God is nothing to fear. God is not a God of fear. He is a God of love. Um, Now, if you anger a God of love, I mean, maybe you should fear him. You know, especially if he is your creator. Because I mean, if you know how creating works. But if you create something, you can sure as shit destroy it like that. Um, but got sidetracked. So yeah, into the sea of life. So it was always the Christ symbol, and nun is a female devotee to Christ. So nun meaning fish. So you, as a female devotee to Christ, you are growing. Uh, you are growing as a fish, I guess, or you are growing. You know, um, I guess you would be an initiate as a nun, and you would be considered a fish. Um, yeah, the three fishes were used to symbolize the Christian Trinity, and it's one of the 8 symbols of Buddha, and that's where I go back to the incarnations of Christ. And if you read the Aquarian Gospel, I don't have it out here. I should have brought it with me. Um, he goes, Yeshua goes to Western Tibet uh, before or after India, and while he's there, all the people, and I was talking about this with Adrian. All the people were saying, oh, is this not Buddha brought back to us? And the priests were like, get out of here. Um, so I mean, just look at the symbolism with the fish, um, you know, being that Christed symbol. The dolphin, shout out Donut. Um, the dolphin is sacred to both Apollo, the solar savior, and Neptune. Now, uh, you know, if y'all go watch Donut, the Donut Factory, he talks a lot about the Illuminati dolphins, and you know, a lot of these elite families. If you go watch, and it's Anthony Hilder, I think one of his old videos, he's on a Rothschild property, and there's a house with these sigil-looking like pieces of wood outside. It looks like a temple, and he goes, "That's an Apollyon temple. That's a temple to Apollo." And you look at all the symbols for Apollo, and it's like, oh wow, yeah, they do have a temple to Apollo. That's like Jeffrey Epstein having that Eliphas Levi temple out there, you know. Um, but let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, the Dolphins. Yeah, and there's a T-Mobile, or no, what was it? Hotels.com, maybe some commercial of that secret society of those fish beings meeting out by the pool, and then there's like this black chick in the pool, and they're like, "How did you get here?" or whatever. They're talking about ruling the world. It's like, hmm. Also, someone I'm going to get into, Credo Mutwa, or Credo Mutwa, the Zulu shaman who David Icke had on the scene, back in the 90s. He talks about these fish beings, the first beings on the planet being that of whale and dolphin descent. Dolphins were known to carry shipwrecked sailors on their backs to heaven. And, Christians accepted it as a symbol of Christ, probably after the time of when they accepted the symbol of the fish as Christ. Um, and yeah, the heir to the throne of France is known as the Dauphin. You know, uh, maybe some of that. There's a lot of weird shit with French royalty. Some royal French families who we'll be getting into. Not going to say their names right now. Not ready to get taken off yet. Um, but so this is crazy. I just brought up Credo Mutwa. What I'm gonna move my stuff so I can read this a little better. Move this down. I'll move back a little bit. All right. So legends say that long before the appearance of humans, there existed a race or species of composite creatures that the gods destroyed. According to some records, the human race evolved from a species of creature with an amphibian nature. For at that time, primitive man had gills and was partly covered in scales. And American Indians believe that these beings inhabited the lakes, waters, and, like the oceans, rivers, and lakes of America, and they called them the Water Indians. But we're going to talk about this race of dolphin beings a lot more as we go along. Me and Donut, and we had done something on the Paranoid American channel this last Saturday on the 1972 Rothschild Surrealism Ball, and it was awesome. We had a lot of people in the comments telling us to do the Mothers of Darkness Castle, and surprisingly, I have a couple pages of notes on that already, connected to the cult of Abraxas, and also there's a couple other things that me and Thomas and Donut we're going to do together. Now, the next episode, I may do it tomorrow. I'll finish the fish, and then I'll go on and do either the opening of the Unseen Forces book and talk a little bit about the gnomes, and or I'll start on the insects, because there are some things about the scarab beetle that are crazy, and I think a lot of people would like it. But anyway, yeah. I hope I didn't sound like too much of an asshole or an idiot. I know I'm not an idiot. I'm sure I could. I know I don't need to interrupt as much. I interrupted my buddy Adrian like over 1,000 times. Dude, I'll always be sorry about that. I'm so sorry. And should have stayed more on topic of his book, But I acknowledge that, and I will learn from that and do better. I'm still working on my speaking and staying on subject, and not repeating myself too much or talking about the same thing every episode. However, we are going to get a Lost Book of Inky episode, like a full analysis of Lost Book of Inky. I don't know who we're going to bring on it, but it's going to be like 4 hours long. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll get some heavy hitters in it. We'll see. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you. If you watch this, thank you. You're a trooper. Thank you for sticking through and watching it. Hopefully you enjoyed, and be expecting more. So, all right, guys. See you later.
All American stickers, cryptids, cults, and killers. We got all your favorite conspiracies, all the land and more on our sticker sheets. Paranoid American stickers, they'll make you smile and snicker. False flags and secret society, all of these and more on our sticker sheets.
Explore the unique with Paranoid American sticker sheets. Unearth tales of cryptids, cults, and mysteries through each sticker. These won't last long. Get yours now at paranoidamerican.com.
We're all American stickers, cryptids, cults, and killers. We got all your favorite conspiracies, all of that and more on our sticker sheets. Paranoid American stickers, they'll make you smile and snicker. False flags and secret society, all of these and more on our sticker sheets.
What the heck are you waiting for? Discover the extraordinary with Paranoid American sticker sheets. From cryptids in the night to cults out of sight, each sticker is a unique find. Get yours now at paranoidamerican.com.
Welcome to the Gray Pill Podcast, where truth's unveiled, exploring the depths beyond what is retail. Conspiracies, esoteric knowledge so enthralling. Open up your mind, let's dive into the sprawling. Oh yeah. Gray Pill awaken, question what you know. Peeling back the latest, let your curiosity grow. Uncover hidden realities, break the mold. Come take the journey, let your mind unfold.
Gather round, all you mystery seekers. We're diving deep into the dark, exploring realms beyond what's known, where the secrets of the shadows leave their mark. Come take a ride on the Greypilled Express, where esoteric knowledge is our guest. From conspiracies to cryptids, we unveil the veil. Mysticism and the occult, our forbidden tale. Join us on this journey to uncover the unknown.
Welcome to the Gray Pilled Podcast.